Hello and welcome back to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm back today with a pick a card reading for you. Welcome to my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you especially to everyone who has left me comments below any of my readings this month for your chance to win a free reading with me. If you are new to the channel, a new subscriber, I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for subscribing if you're a subscriber, and be sure to drop your comment below because I offer a chance to win a free reading with me as a thank you to my beautiful subscribers who come here and who leave me comments, who engage with me. I just want to say thank you for all of the support that you show me. So be sure to do that, but also be sure to hit your notification bell so that if you are chosen the winner, I can get the ball rolling. But no matter what brought you here today, if you're new here, if you just stumbled across for the very first time, I do pick a card readings on this channel, so welcome. So if you like tarot, get cozy. We're going to have a little chat because we're all friends when we gather around this table. For today's pick a card topic, we're looking at someone on your mind, and we want to know today, will the two of you end up together? Will there be a relationship here? Maybe you're just talking to this person, maybe you're crushing on them. Whatever the scenario may be, we're asking Spirit today, are we going to be together? Are we going to end up together? Will this be a relationship? What will that look like for you? So we have 3 piles to choose from. And we have eye tarots here. We have a bunch of eyeballs staring at us. This first is called the Wizard's Tarot, and we also have this Hagstone as pile number 1. Pile number 2 here, and this is the Grunge Tarot with the Desert Rose. And pile number 3, this is the Hematite with the Mystical Medleys Tarot, or Mystical Moments Tarot, Mystical Medleys, I think, Tarot, for pile number 3. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be a message waiting today. I'm going to jump right into pile number 1. Again, it's all about, will the two of you end up together? Will you have a relationship? And if you do, what will that look like? So pile number 1. Hello, pile number 1. You were drawn to the Hagstone. You were also drawn here to the Wizard's Tarot, and this is your reading. What can you expect out of this person on your mind? Will the two of you end up together? So what can Spirit tell us about the future of your connection on your mind for pile number 1? Whoops. We have the 6 of Wands coming in right this moment. I just saw the 9 of Pentacles. Now, the 6 of Wands is a very victorious card. It's supposed to be about confidence. But when you look at the card, it's like she's trying to like fake it. She's got this big eye, and the eye doesn't look very optimistic. And so confidence could be lacking. Could be that masks are being worn where somebody's acting way more confident than they actually are. Will you end up together, please, with pile number 1? We have the 9 of Pentacles again. That showed itself to me. We have the 5 of Pentacles, the Death energy. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Knight of Curses, the Knight of Cups. Back of the deck, we have the 10 of Swords. We also have the Ace of Cups. Now, what's interesting about this spread to start pile 1 is the fact that for someone watching, I'm just trying to find a different deck here to clarify. For someone watching, I feel like there's no availability in the present moment. It's like we really want there to be availability, but if we really want to see things happen in this connection, Spirit says we may have to take some type of action because nothing changes if nothing changes. And there does seem to be a lot of secrecy surrounding your connection, or in the very least from one end. It's like somebody's being very quiet about their feelings. They're not being 100% open and honest in their environment. And it's not that a new emotional start isn't available. Here's the Ace of Curses, which is the Ace of Cups. But you can see that instead of a cup, it is a smile, or it's a skull. And if you look on the bottom mandible of that skull, look really closely, there's a bunch of teeth missing here, which means that we have a fear of loss associated with going into a new emotional start, that there is a reality that we have to face, a death cycle that we have to face, where we might have to lose something practical if we want to see anything abundant moving into line in your future of this connection. So that the backup deck for you today is the 10 of Swords, which means that our expectations, if we keep applying the same force but no actual effort, might not come to fruition. We may not get the desires of our heart of this emotional new beginning unless we face the reality that we have to face in the present moment. Because even these spiders on the side of the death energy here, is telling me that we have woven a certain destiny to put ourselves in certain positions, either you or this person or both of you. And now, because of the reality of that situation, which has something to do with something very practical that we feel attached to, we're going to have to change directions. Now, the message of having a commitment in place or another person in place, for instance, may not resonate with you, and that's okay, because they're also talking about some of these practical concerns could just be insecurity, could just be hesitation because of fear of really opening myself up, of really being seen. There's something very physical perhaps about the Five of Pentacles that makes me feel very vulnerable. No matter what, though, again, the middle of this Wheel of Fortune is a skull, because in order for us to turn it in our favor, more vulnerability and more effort is going to be needed. So if there is an expectation that things are just going to work out in our favor without the benefit of warm sunlight, for instance, or the benefit of any type of movement, then we may be waiting for our hopes and dreams here. Because Spirit says that we're already sort of inspired on what action we should take, but it feels risky. It feels like there could be consequences here. Here's the Six of Swords. And there is something about position with the Nine of Pentacles. It's like we've put effort into something, into our position. We've spent time building up our reputation or building up our coin or building up our position at home or work. And because of that, there is this real fear of transition because of that position. It's like we're worried about other people's opinions, or we're worried about each other's opinion. Now, this could be a workplace connection for someone, or the Justice can also speak about the truth of the matter, somebody bringing the truth to light. It also speaks about sort of positions that we enter into willingly to achieve a certain amount of security. So this could be job, this could be the home realm. But how we also have to face the cause and effect of our own actions if we want something in this connection. If we want something, we have to walk through that doorway and say, yes, this is the doorway that we want. It's like being offered multiple doorways. Door number 1, door number 2, door number 3. Knight of Cups. Very strong Libra energy, very strong water energy. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Now that's what Spirit is really speaking about. This Knight of Cups is what's going to turn this wheel. But we're going to have to face a grief cycle. We're going to have to face some sort of rebirth energy, which means what we want versus what we want to achieve, it may require some type of sacrifice. And if we aren't willing to have the sacrifice, then we're just going to slow down the momentum here. So it's not naturally going to flow into union, unfortunately, pile 1. We have the King of Pentacles, and we have the Ace of Pentacles. It's not that there isn't opportunity for growth, but the risk has to be there. This little gateway shows this little mountain peak. It's like somebody has to step outside of their comfort zone and take action upon the temptation that they really want. And that's how we're going to open up a cycle. But it's not naturally going to flow into that until we start to address the elephants in the room. The elephants can be physical, really physical elephants, or the elephants could be emotional, but we have to address them if we want to see physical change. So they are indicating that this may not naturally flow into togetherness or into a relationship for you, pile 1. You have here the Bravery, Joy Harjo, and she's waist deep in some pretty mucky water here. And there's 2 horses on the side of this card, which does indicate perhaps 2 people having a choice, but also being kind of pulled in different directions, like the Chariot. But we also have loss coming in the reversal with Mary Shelley. And we've talked about this card before on the channel, with Mary Shelley being obviously the very famous author of Frankenstein and a lot of dark novels from that period of time. And what really sort of tempered and touched her pen was the amount of heartbreak she experienced in her life. That's why she wrote so many dark things, was because she suffered so much loss. And it sort of she became a part of that loss. Instead of becoming her own entity, she became engrossed in it. And her fear of loss really tempered everything that she put out for the rest of her life. And so you can see that there's this skull again in this poison. Looks like poison, or it looks like something that we would drink that could poison us. And so there's a reality that we have to face. It's like we have to face perhaps a loss and have the bravery to do that in order to move into what we want, the desires of our heart. And here's Emily Bronte. We've spoken about her too. Very famous author from around the same time period. And you can see all the worker ants. It's like somebody has to put the work in order to move fantasy into reality. Let's get a future position card, a doorway card, please, for pile number 1. Will they end up together? What advice do you have for pile number 1? We have here three-eyed raven. And when I see the three-eyed raven, I do think about spirit trying to get our attention with vocalizations, but also about perhaps even third party. So take that as it resonates to your situation. It says, as sunrise hits upon the dew, a messenger raven calls out with news. Prepare for the unexpected. And silent skill, I challenge you to unpack your mind in meditation's grace. The soul can unwind. Breathe in, breathe out, and let go of doubt. This is what they want you to understand about your reflection period. If you really retreat and perform an honest reflection about what you want, what the obstacles are, and how to achieve it. Spirit says, be prepared to be surprised with the advice that they give you. And also it's about being surprised about what you can expect if you are willing to take that leap of faith, or if this person is willing to take a leap of faith, what you can expect on the other side of that leap of faith. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 1. Advice for pile number 1 in the bowl regarding this cycle in love. We have the death energy. They are saying that the divine masculine in this case may be the one dragging their feet when it comes to position or fear or worries, because the Eight of Pentacles is asking him to put the effort in, but it's like he's avoiding it. It's like he's not ready. He's feeling stuck. He's feeling uncertain. Not that there is an emotional investment here. I feel like there's a lot of emotional investment towards you, but it's like a discrepancy between position and emotions. And sometimes with the Eight of Pentacles, we just don't try because we don't know if the risk is worth the reward. We have live. We have the word pet, P-E-T, like a teacher's pet, perhaps, or a pet. We have live, laugh, and love. These could also be initials, of course. We do have a microphone, which is talking about communication, announcements. We have marijuana in the bowl too. We have the little owl, I think of the Queen of Swords, and making decisions and choices, cutting people, places, and things out of her life. We have the divine masculine, the blue kitty cat. So Leo energy, very strong, but he was flipped over. It's like he doesn't have the courage. There's Libra energy, I think of justice. So this person could be a Libra, or position could be a big problem. It's like when we're trying to speak our truth, we could have a very strong disconnect between having the courage to do so. All right, pile 1, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. If it does, feel free to drop your comment below for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading, or for Instagram. But I hope you come and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to the Desert Rose or to the Grunge Tarot, and this is your reading. Will you end up together? Will you have a relationship with the person on your mind? What does the future look like in your connection, or this person that you're holding in your mindset right this moment? For pile 2, please. Will they end up together? What does the future hold? We have the Fool. It's funny because they're showing me that clown movie, It, with the red balloon. It's like it feels dangerous when we're going to take a leap like the Fool. We have the Four of Cups. We have the Five of Pentacles. Will they end up together, please, for pile number 2? We have the Queen of Swords. I almost feel like this is a very young energy. Like it feels very young energy to me. We have the Queen of Wands. Back of the deck, we have the Three of Swords. We have the Three of Pentacles. There's the Three of Cups. It feels like a friendship situation. That's what it feels like to me. And it feels like you've both been keeping each other waiting. It's like you're both being really passive for similar reasons. It's like you're afraid of being rejected, perhaps, which is interesting because your rejection, or I don't even want to say your rejection of them, but your fear of being rejected by them is causing you to perhaps be very passive. Their fear of being rejected by you is causing them to be very passive. From their perspective, it's like you don't care about them and they're ignoring you, or you're ignoring them, and vice versa as well. It's like you're both sort of, all of these options are being offered to both of you, but you're both feeling so helpless within the dynamics of your current fascination with each other, or your attraction to each other, that it's like you're both keeping each other waiting, because both of you are too afraid to step outside of your comfort zone, to look foolish in some sort of way. And they just gave me this message about blood being blue until it hits oxygen. It's like we have this protection element surrounding the connection until we vocalize it, and then we can't go back. If we're feeling really vulnerable about how we feel or about what we expect, if we say something, we can't ever take that back. So that's what's really holding us back, is vulnerability. I feel like you could go to school or work with this person. It could be Leo energy here, but the Queen of Wands is here, but there could also be Aquarius, Libra, Gemini with the Queen of Swords. So please take that as it resonates to your situation. We have the World. For someone watching, you communicate with this person a lot online, or maybe you even met this person online. It's almost like being presented as like options. I'm getting also the sense for someone watching that you would play online games with them in some way, because they're just showing me Call of Duty. We have the Fool again. We have the Ten of Cups. We have the Five of Wands. Back of the deck is the Four of Swords. And we have the Chariot. You know what's really lovely about your message, pal, too, is that it really reflects the true purpose of tarot, because the purpose of tarot is to offer us information so that we can make choices, so we can see a mutable future and we can say, well, I don't like that. I don't like what they're telling me for the future. What can I do to shift things? What can I do to make things a little bit different for my experience? We can't rely on other people to change things for us, but we can definitely shift our gaze and perspective upon what we're experiencing, so we can change how we feel about it. And what's really interesting about your message here is that with you and your person, dishonesty is like the worst enemy for both of you right now, because you're both being so dishonest to yourselves and to each other. It's like we're holding back, and if we continue to hold back, we are going to be disappointed. We're going to be disappointed. Spirit says in this case, I feel like I'm talking to divine feminine energy. Of course, I don't have to be. You can be the divine masculine. It's all about energy. It has nothing to do with gender. But they're asking for the creative force to take control here, because there is a disconnect between want and action. And Spirit says that the divine feminine here wants this to move into a relationship. She might have to be the one to take fate into her own hands by providing clarity, by providing sort of a clear, direct way for this person, because I feel like this person's really afraid of being rejected. And it feels like almost a phobia. Like it feels like a phobia, like it disarms them. They feel helpless. And as long as they're feeling helpless, if both of you are feeling helpless, this cycle remains unfinished. But if somebody steps forward and says, this is how I feel, if somebody provides clarity, then ultimately we're going to have some type of movement. We're going to have some type of movement towards the Four of Cups. We're going to have some type of movement to this friendship, and we can start building upon the foundation that we're already building upon. But it's like somebody has to talk about the electricity between the two of you. Somebody has to let the cat out of the bag and be willing to throw themselves on that sword, so to speak. It's not even necessarily a guarantee that this person will have the courage to be like, yeah, I feel the same way. But what it does do is take all the uncertainty away from you. It provides you with complete clarity over your experience. And Spirit says here that as long as we're waiting, we're going to be kept waiting. And that wait is going to just eat away at us. It's going to eat away at our confidence. It's going to eat away at this feeling of competition. We're going to start comparing ourselves to other people. And so although Spirit says this is not going to seamlessly go towards a togetherness or a relationship, because somebody has to take some sort of action. It's like somebody has to say, this is how I feel. And I feel like if there's like a constant companion energy, it's not like this is telling you anything new about what has to happen. Clarity has to happen. But when we have clarity involved, we can have the possibility of the full spectrum. So someone watching, if the Queen of Swords is willing to take on that challenge of authority and say, hey, this is how I feel. This is my truth. She can shine a light on that. It can be a vessel that carries you into something so much bigger than what you're experiencing in this friendship at this time. But I also feel like there's a lot of fragile hearts involved in this case. And Spirit says we have to tread carefully and tread lightly. There's the Ace of Pentacles, because there's still opportunity, but this feels like a really strong friendship. And it feels like you could be different from this person, but it just feels like we're letting the friendship get in the way. I feel a really strong school element to this person. They end up together, please. And even here on this card with the Queen of Wands, on the back of the wall, it says nearly lost you. And that's the thing, is that they're going to keep you waiting. So this is all directive. This is all sort of advice from your guides that you could take action or you could wait, but they're going to keep you waiting because of their own insecurity. And ultimately, they could almost lose you to competition if they don't take action too. So this advice comes in from your guides asking you to reflect upon what action are you prepared to take? Are you willing to take here? We have happy, number 26. She's sitting on a huge egg of potential. She's holding on to the beautiful star of Aquarius. Now the star of Aquarius kind of lights up our hopes. It shines a way for us. We wish upon it. But that's the thing, is that there feels like such a crush situation happening here and a lot of wishful thinking between the two of you. And Spirit says a wish is just a wish until we turn it into a goal. But in order to turn it into a goal, we have to incubate that egg and put some effort into it. So somebody has to put a little bit of effort in order for there to be more. And then Spirit says, it says message in a bottle. Look at the phone inside, the starfish. The starfish can lose a limb and then regrow that limb, which is a difficult experience when we throw ourselves out onto an opportunity and then perhaps we get rejected in the past, and it leads us to this feeling of insecurity, that almost buyer's remorse, and prevents us from taking future leaps of faith. But Spirit says that if we just put ourselves out there, face our insecurities, and then surrender the outcome, we are still communicating to the universe that we don't let these attachments to insecurity hold us back. So we're still transitioning out of that period of stuckness, which is automatically going to improve your situation overall, improve how you experience the love realm overall. So we have here Treasure Island. I love that because that's the 9 of Cups for me. It's like abundance. It's like wish fulfillment. And it does feel like a really strong crush situation, as I said. But you can see the Treasure Island is about surrendering the truth, opening up this box, opening up this Pandora's box of abundance, and really somebody putting the effort in to attack the codependent attachment that you're both suffering from in this present moment. Will they end up together, please? Pile number 2. We have here family. Back of the deck is the Mary Shelley Lost card, though. And you can see it's a skull inside the poison bottle. This came in pile 1. And there's something about drinking the poison. There's something about taking advantage of the opportunity as it presents so that we don't sit in this period of darkness and we don't let darkness impede all of our future prospects as well. It's about letting the cat out of the bag. And the family energy can really speak about perhaps family being against the connection, or about situations that we grew up in with our family unit that created some of the insecurity within us. It's also talking about potential movement that can come out of this build, out of the 3 of Pentacles. This is a lot of abundance that we could be building up towards, including a foundation of commitments. That may not be for everyone, but Spirit says that it's very possible. But somebody first just has to provide that leap of faith. We have a lot of big themes here too. We have here a distant kiss and a prayer flag. I wish of all wishes that you were here. Through sunlight and rain, I need you near. And there's an emphasis on wishes. There's an emphasis on the 9 of Cups. There's an emphasis on that wish energy that we just saw. And this is talking about a distant kiss. It's like it's only a wish. It's only in the distance until we turn it into a goal. And then we have birth. Another gateway appears in view. New life is unfolding with blessings to you. But it's time to draw down the moon. And when I think about drawing down the moon, I think about facing our issues, our emotions, and our truth head on, revealing them and bringing them to the surface, trusting our intuition to guide us. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 2. Advice for pile number 2. 2 of Swords, 5 of Cups, and the Sun reversed. There is such an emphasis on a lack of clarity between the two of you. And so it's like somebody is needlessly mourning when they don't have to be. Somebody's already sort of stuck in this mindset of like, I can't, I'm helpless. And it's very needless. It's actually providing almost a secondary barrier upon their heart space, which is communicating to the universe that they're not ready for the commitment. And so when we're trying to manifest, we're trying to put ourselves in the mindset of having already received what we want, which means whatever we're feeling like in that moment, that's what we are in that moment. So there really needs to be a clarity or a shift in perspective here on what can be done. In the bowl today, we have the letter Z. Could be an initial, it could also be a dream element. We do have baby steps and the divine feminine expressing herself with the whale, trusting in her intuition to guide us. And we also have here the frog, which is our intuition, but also about ascension, moving from the tadpole into a different stage. The Ace of Wands, and we have the peace sign in the heart. So I do feel like there's someone in this connection, you or this person, that requires a little boost or a little confidence boost or a little bit of a help to get to that clarity shore. We have gentle. We have wings, looking at things from a higher perspective. Divine feminine, whale, multiple times in the bowl. Cancer energy, you are my sunshine. Just be, being present in the present moment. We have here the 7 of Swords. We have the 7 of Swords as your backup deck when we combine the 3 and the 4. So it's about someone who's not being honest. Maybe you're not being honest with them. And we have here the pants. I think about hospital nursing connections, but I also think about the sisterhood of traveling pants. I don't know why, but I do. There's also a very lower level chakra systems that are involved in the connection here. So a lot of desire, a lot of attraction between the two of you. All right, pile 2, that's what I have for you. I hope it resonates. If it did, please drop your comment below for a chance to win a free reading with me. Be sure to hit your notification bell so that I can enter you in for that reading and notify you if you're chosen. You can also check out my link for Etsy for personal reading or for Instagram, but please come back and visit me at the Tarot Cottage. I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 3. You are drawn to the Hematite or to the Mystical Medleys Tarot, and this is your reading. Will you end up together? Will you have a relationship? What will that look like if you do? What can you tell me about the future of the connection on pile 3's mind, please? We have the Empress and we have the 6 of Swords. Coming up first. We have the Moon, Scorpio. The 2 of Wands. You could be currently talking to this person online, perhaps. Queen of Swords. Back of the deck is the 2 of Pentacles. We also have the 9 of Wands, and I want to clarify this as we go forward. Will you be together with this person? Two of Wands, the Chariot, I feel like you've spent a little bit of time with this person, but not a ton of time. And I feel like the two of you are just learning about each other in some way, because there's still confusion in the present moment. It's like we're still confused about what plans we want to execute moving forward. There's still uncertainty. We have the 4 of Swords here. The Justice. Back of the deck we have the 10 of Swords. We also have the Judgment coming out as back of deck. And I want to clarify a little bit that Judgment or that 10 of Swords energy. Nine of Wands. I've got a very interesting message for you, pile 3. A very interesting message. Can we clarify, please, the Queen of Swords and the Justice? Okay, so I've got a really interesting message for you, because Spirit is speaking about how whatever's happening between the two of you in this moment, there's going to be an eventual shift and a change. And the two of you, I feel like, will move into some type of union. You'll move into a relationship of some kind. Because I see you moving into a position that you want to move into. It's like you feel secure there. You're kind of getting what you want as far as this collective expectation, or it's like you're getting the title that the collective tells us we should have to feel secure in a relationship. But it's like the title of things, because what they're showing me is like Facebook couples versus real couples. You know, it's like sometimes we'll put on Facebook, we'll see somebody on Facebook that's always they're always speaking, and I know this sounds terrible, but they're always speaking so highly of their partner and their partnership, and they're always talking about how great their partnership is. And oftentimes, you know, methinks we protest too much, is that saying, or I think we do protest too much, because most of the times when we're talking so much, it's like we're trying to convince ourselves that it's great, and it's not as great as we're projecting it online or projecting it to other people. Because I do feel like right now we're in the planning phase, we're moving into this cycle of like, yes, we're going to solidify something. There's going to be transitions. There's going to be transitions into more, and into even like a solid position, or a relationship is forming. But there's a reality that sort of stings with that new position. There's this truth that kind of gets revealed to us during that moment. And they're saying that ultimately you get to say yay or nay to whether or not you want to continue to include yourself there. For some, you're going to choose to commit, perhaps. There could be commitments that are actually waiting for you in this moment. And that's what they're talking about with this Ten of Swords, is that our expectations of what we think is going to happen, that's not what's going to happen here. Our expectations aren't going to be met. Some of these expectations might be bad, might be good. Some of the things that are coming in for us might be bad, might be good. But our expectations of what we think is going to happen is not going to happen. What is really important for us to understand is that there is something really important and valuable about the opportunity, because it's acting as a clarifying agent. It's acting as a vessel or a doorway towards the truth. It's like acting almost as a mirror. It's like whatever it is we're going to experience in this connection is going to be a mirror for us about what the next step is, what the next chapter is going to hold. And I'm getting multiple messages coming in because I am dealing with the collective energy. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But for one half of this message, I'm getting the sense of something missing for you once you solidify your partnership. And once you realize that this person maybe isn't exactly what you thought. Here with the Two of Swords, with time, it's like they're not exactly who you thought that they would be, and they cause some frustration. And then the Nine of Wands, you can see she's holding a big scythe. And the Queen of Swords, she's not afraid to use it. When she sees, oh, my intuition is telling me there's something missing here, that's the truth. I wouldn't have known the truth unless I included myself in this experience. But now I have that truth, and I'm armed with it, and I get to make a decision about what I want to do. Do I want to take what they've revealed to me and work with it and grow together, or am I ready for something new? So ultimately, they want you to know, pile 3, that you're moving into more of a connection timeline with this person. You're moving into a relationship with this person. And what is going to be revealed to you in that next chapter is really important for you to pay attention to, because those are going to be all of the information that you're gathering that you're going to use to make your really important decisions, critical decisions, when it comes to your involvement down the line. Here's the Knight of Pentacles. As I said, for some of you, I see you moving into commitments here. I see you moving into a long-standing relationship. It's going to take some years. So you're going to be with this person for a few years, perhaps. And there's something slow-moving about it, but reliable, dependable, steadfast about the connection that you're going to experience. But depending on depending on which queen I'm talking to here, ultimately, we're going to come to certain conclusions down the road about if there's something missing, or whether or not this is leading us through the passages of our transformation. Because there's a decision that the Queen of Swords is making here, and she's leading that decision through her spiritual awareness. It's like she's allowing her instincts or her spiritual team to influence her decision at that time. Because what they're seeing is they see you moving into a relationship, and they're seeing that there's something about the relationship that frustrates you. Now that frustration is either going to communicate to you that it's like, I'm frustrated and I'm done, or it's saying, I want more of this and I'm going to keep fighting for more of this and I'm going to use my strength to power through. We have the Three of Wands. Either way, it's moving forward. Either way, it's expanding. It's going past whatever the stage you're in this moment. We're moving forward in order to explore our options, in order to clear out the confusion, in order to take everything that we're going to experience and use it to make a really discernible decision overall. So you're moving forward. You're expanding with this person. I do see commitments for some watching. But again, there's a really important decision for this Queen of Swords to make. When she observes what she's being offered, when she gets to know more about this experience and what is being offered, there is this sense of eventually coming to a very important conclusion. But that's why they're saying it like that. The Two of Pentacles for me is a really strong sense of eventual energy. It's like we will get there. We're going to make the decision, but we need to enjoy the dance. We need to include ourselves in the journey. So we have the Two of Wands again. Two of Wands, back of the deck is the Three of Cups. They are actually really encouraging this exploration. They say that this person is very kind of different from what you would perhaps normally go for. And they are saying that this Divine Masculine is really operating from a lot of fear of loss because they've experienced a lot of loss before. And that could be why they are very slow to perhaps move into an official commitment. Like they're very slow to sign a piece of paper, for instance, with that Knight of Pentacles, but they're still a reliable individual. Like they're still a good person. They're just suffering from losses, which influences their ability to really open up that heart space. So the Three of Cups is still having fun. It's enjoying each other's company. You know, it's friendship almost. So there could be a really strong flirtation friendship that's happening in the present. It could be happening online for someone as well. And I see more. I see expansion. And it's only when you decide how much more you want to see and what you want to invest in. Spirit says you have a really critical decision to make down the line in this connection. But it's moving forward. Number 3, please. We have here Loyal Heart. And that's the thing, is that I feel like this person is really loyal. I think they're really dependable, but it's like they are slow to get to a place of practical, tangible commitments. It's slow to sign that piece of paper. And this Queen of Swords may be kind of anxious to get to that place. It's going to take work to get there. But I still feel this is going to expand and move forward. I just feel like there may be one person that's watching that's just like, I'm not waiting any longer for you to give me the desires of my heart. Something's missing for me. I'm out of here. But that's not the overarching theme. The overarching theme here is learning so much valuable information about your experience because you're involved in this connection moving forward. And we have all that glitters is gold, number 16. Now the 16 is about building up a tower, building up abundance with time and with effort. In this case, Spirit says we could be in for permanent change, but it's also encouraging us to be vulnerable, to be vocal about our desires, to speak our world into being, and to make sure that we're being honest with each other throughout that process. Back of the deck says time for a nap, number 24. And I always think of the crescent moon as the higher self, of like directing our gaze. You can see that there's a little fox, and I think about shrewdness and intelligence with the fox. And so they're asking us to spend some time to really trust in our higher self to guide and direct us moving forward in this connection, and not just listen to what our form of logic might be, because our form of logic might be influenced by our past situations, our past fears, and not be, that decision that might not be made from the true essence of a thing. Will they be together, please? Will they end up together? We have here belonging. There's so much electricity between the two of you, but there's also going to be a challenge because the two of you are going to choose to kind of battle it out. There's a sense of a fear of not belonging, or a fear of not being included from the Divine Masculine, actually, specifically here. But I feel like right now you're already wondering what the future holds, because you're already feeling so much intense attraction to each other as well. Because I just heard electric shock therapy. We have here boar, aggressive masculine energy. With the divine masculine, I think of Taurus. Back of the deck says community. And when I think of community, I do think about two people who are collaborating. Whoops. People who are collaborating for more. I think of the community cards like the tens and achieving more than what we anticipated. So even in this moment, if you're feeling confused about what it could be, what it could turn into, and maybe you're not even thinking that it will go anywhere. Spirit says our expectations, again, are not going to be matched. Where we think it's going to go, it's not going to go in that direction. It could perhaps go far beyond what we expect it to go, or where we expect it to go. We have hummingbird song. Nectar of sweetness and joy it brings, the hummingbird's healing as medicines it sings. And it talks about focusing on joy. A distant kiss and a prayer flag. I wish of all wishes that you were here. Through sunlight and rain, I need you near. And back of the deck says the sacred lotus. So I do feel expansion. Compassion in action is the chosen tool. I see now the lotus in your spirit's jewel. And that's what they're saying is going to help this expansion even farther from what we're seeing here is continued compassion towards each other. And the distant kiss and the prayer flag, I almost just got a military energy for someone watching, and that's not for everyone, but there could be sort of a disconnect from where you're living versus their job. So that could be an issue and one of the obstacles that you could experience moving forward, or what you're experiencing right now, especially if it's an online connection. There could be some sort of distance between the two of you. But again, they're not insurmountable obstacles. We can still create expansion. It's just going to require effort, and it's going to require focus. And there is a big important decision down the line that the Divine Feminine will have to make about whether she wants to continue to explore. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 3. Advice for pile number 3 with this person. I do feel like you will be together for as long as the Divine Feminine says she wants to be there. We have the Hanged Man, we have the Ace of Cups, we have the Six of Swords. The Hanged Man is asking you to surrender to the opportunity, asking you to surrender to even some of the negative thoughts that you've been having, because they need to be exercised. We don't want to suppress them because they get stuck inside the body then. So we need to exercise them. To surrender to what the offer is, even if it's bringing us a little bit of stress or anxiety in this moment. They're saying that this could be a vessel or some sort of chariot energy towards peace, towards clarity, that can allow us to progress even farther. So even if the decision comes at the end of the day that you don't want to include yourself down the line, Spirit says it's acting as a vessel then to help you reach that distant shore. I also feel like there could be, again, a geographical distance between the two of you and how that could be stressing out the situation and affecting what our potential, what we see in the potential. That could be why we have such a negative expectation surrounding it. And yet the electricity between the two of you, I feel like, is so palpable that it's like you can't only focus on that negativity because it's so obvious. It's like the fire flares up the darkness. We do have the button mending. I think of mending and fixing things. We have here cupcake, wanting my cake and eat it too. We have the Queen of Swords with the owl. We also have surrender to here with the seahorse and the Divine Feminine. So the Divine Feminine has a surrender energy to what's being revealed, but also a choice to make in the future. We have self-sacrifice and sweet surrender here with the honeybee, so sweet results that await us. Being pulled in different directions emotionally, but having to look at things from a higher perspective before we make a decision, especially from an Aquarius energy in the future. So the Divine Feminine could be an Aquarius energy. And we have a commandment from the Bible that says, thou shalt not make graven images. So about putting people up on a pedestal. I think about building up pedestals as well. Pile number 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates. I'm praying for you. If it did, please drop your comment below for a chance to win a free reading with me. Be sure to hit your notification bell and your like button so that I can notify you if you're chosen the winner. I also offer private readings through Etsy, and that link is below, and through Instagram. I just put up some free mini reads sometimes, so be sure to check me out there. But I hope you have a beautiful day, and I hope that you come back and visit me at the Tarot Cottage.